Hi, Shoulda Did More Reading podcast. Tom Shattuck here with my friend Jay. We're entering the holiday season, so that means it's time for the perennial Christmas specials to come back again, and one coming up soon. And well, we say coming up soon. It used to be, Jay, when we were kids, to see Rudolph, you'd have to wait till they gave it to you.
I remember it when they had the ABC special. They used to go around in a circle.
Yep. Oh, I should have grabbed that. I should have grabbed that sound effect. We'll do that before this is over.
Excellent.
I guarantee you that thing, that special thing, triggers something in people in our age group.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it may even do it on the original movie. I'm not sure, or if it even plays on that network or not. But yeah, I do remember it.
Was it ABC or CBS?
I think it was ABC.
See special. I'm going to try to find this, Jay. Phil, think of something.
Yeah, no. It's something when you have to wait all year. It creates a even the excitement of it coming down in a few weeks of seeing it again after a year. I don't know why we just didn't get like a VHS tape or something. We didn't have that then.
VHS tapes. It was nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, you are so right.
What is it, ABC?
I don't think people can hear that. It didn't actually make it through the thing. Let me see if I can play it so it makes it through the thing. I'll just waste a little more time with this, but this is important.
No, it really...
Excellent thought.
Well, that was something I remember hearing, and it was exciting to hear that because you knew something cool. It was either Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or I think even Frosty the Snowman had that on there. Not too many, I don't think. But,
but it was absolutely a Christmas thing. That meant that the Christmas specials were coming, and this was huge. That Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like you said, or Frosty. How awesome is that? I love it.
It really is.
Okay, so let's get right to it. So every year we've got these. Jay and I grew up on this stuff. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And to me, that was the classic. That was the biggest one, the most important one, the one I took to mean as that was law. Rudolph was law, and he was. I mean, the whole experience was a magical experience, and that was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was sacred.
Indeed, and Frosty was Frosty from the same. I know we'll do it on Rudolph, but it was a little bit later. Bass, that
little bit later. I don't think. I mean, could Frosty compete though? I mean, it was something, but that also wasn't claymation or whatever Rudolph was. That was
stop motion. Yeah.
Yeah, Rudolph was animated, and it was a different. It was a. I mean, I'm sorry. Frosty was animated. Different cat altogether. I think we could agree that Rudolph was the standard bearer of the most magical Christmas special you could have. And it's only now looking back that you look at some of the things that happened to Rudolph and realize that it's not a optimistic tale. Feelings get hurt. It's a show about struggle and sadness. And the worst in the human characteristics come out in that movie, essentially throughout the whole damn thing. There's almost no time when even it. We'll get to it. We have so much sound here to play, but looking back at it, I think when we get to the theme of the show, I should have did more reading. Is that we should have spent time doing something better than probably watching and learning lessons from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, because it's a very dark tale.
Indeed, it is.
All right. So we'll start here. And by the way, if you have any information on it, Jay, feel free to just throw it out there.
I will. Okay, yeah, thank you.
So do you know what year it came out?
I think it was 1968. Although the book came out in 1934, I think. But I think the movie that we're talking about, that we're referring to, came out in 1964, actually.
1964. So that's a huge year. That's immediately after Kennedy's shot, and the Beatles have made it big. President Johnson is midst of the Cold War. Maybe there's some subtle references in there. I'm not quite sure. But the first character we meet is the Burl Ives character. So the thing starts with a big snowstorm, remember? Then the Burl Ives character comes to us. The voice is Burl Ives, and he sings all the songs in the movie.
Classic.
Yep. So he's the snowman with the Scottish vest.
If I live to be 100, I'll never be able to forget that big snowstorm a couple of years ago. The weather closed in and, well, you might not believe it, but the world almost missed Christmas.
So already here, isn't that a problem?
So that is Sam the Snowman. Correct?
Okay.
That's Burl Ives.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
Sam the Snowman. And Burl Ives plays him. The world almost...
If I live to be 100, I'll never be able to forget that big snowstorm a couple of years ago. The weather closed in and, well, you might not believe it, but the world almost missed Christmas.
Does that seem like that's proper Judeo-Christian scripture right there?
Well, I mean, no one will get their gifts, so...
No, but my goodness, Christmas, I believe there was an origin of Christmas, and to think that because there was a snowstorm, that's all going away.
Has nothing to do with the birth of Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Or like that.
That's presumptuous right away. And I bet your parents then were saying, what the freak, are you kidding me? Who is this? Almost missed Christmas. That was post-war America where the free market was just booming in this country, and it was all about corporatism. You know, so no doubt, like Macy's and Gimbals and whatever else there was back then, had a say in what was going into this thing. The world almost missed Christmas. It's also a good warning, by the way, for parents back in '64 to say, by the way, you could miss it again this year, too, so I would do your Christmas shopping now with the Sears Roebuck catalog or whatever it was.
Montgomery Ward, I think, at the time.
Yes. So here you go. Here's more Sam the Snowman.
Call me Sam. What's the matter? Haven't you ever seen a talking snowman before?
So this is double-sided to me. There's two things happening here. One, you can start to feel that there's a dark side to Sam, you know, and he tries to drag you in with his know-it-all humor. You know, you're back on your heels. What's the matter? Never seen a talking snowman before? Sam, we're 7 seconds into the show. You know, give us a second to absorb it. Maybe we can comprehend the idea that there's a talking snowman. But also, is that not a way to torpedo the up-and-coming, as you mentioned, Frosty?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's very good. That's a good bridge over into that.
Yeah, so they're saying, so Sam is saying, and whatever this was, CBS, whatever is saying, just so you know, ABC is working on development of something with half the comedians from the Catskills in it coming out next year. We've already got this. But I didn't like his, there's something about Sam that I don't like. He's got this weird tone that the underside to me is a little dark.
Nice around here, isn't it? I call it Christmas Town, better known as the North Pole. The Christmas tree forest. Yep, here's where we grow them.
How, like, creepy real estate agent is he? You know, nice around here, isn't it? Yep. We can see, you know, we're looking around on TV just like everybody else. We can see the fake penguins and the fake bluebirds and everything like that, but Sam's got a way of...
He does. He seems a little sketchy. I think there was a report out there that he was busted for showing the elves as snowballs. So I'm not sure if that was really true or not.
I don't know if that... See, I don't have... My notes don't have that. I don't know.
This is from a different source.
I don't know what that means whatsoever. I don't remember any project... Actually, there were snowballs in the movie. There was... snowballs did make an appearance, so you could be right on the merits.
Nice place to live, you know.
Yeah, we know, Sam.
Christmas seals. Of course, the number one citizen...
What is a Christmas seal, by the way?
Is it just a seal that happens to be around during the time of Christmas?
I guess so. I don't know. The Christmas seals almost weren't that year, apparently, according to Sam.
Well, they're probably all dead.
Here are the Clauses, Santa and the Missus. They live right over there. First castle on the left. Matter of fact, the only castle on the left.
That's Sam's... And he's laughing at the joke himself. That's Sam's second slapstick joke.
Well, how do you figure that?
Because the first one was when he was taunting us, saying that you never seen a talking snowman? Yeah. That's his way of cutting you down in a kind of a vaudeville, intimidating way that the MC would use. And the second one, is the only castle on the left. Okay, Sam is a guy I believe who wanted more screen time. Probably.
Yeah. You
can tell that he's scratching to be part of this. And we have a lot more of him. But Sam takes us inside to the to Christmas Town and Santa's castle.
Eat.
I'm busy, Mama. It's almost Christmas.
Who ever heard of a skinny Santa? Eat. Eat.
How is that okay? Eat. He's obviously got a weight problem, right?
Well, I mean, I think his cholesterol must be off the charts.
Yeah, he's trying to be good. And to use intimidation tactics? Whoever heard of a skinny Santa?
Eat.
I'm busy, Mama. It's almost Christmas.
And he is busy. Why would you have him feed his busyness? Why would you have him medicate with food?
Well, no. I think that aligns with what our parents did. They told us not to get up until we were done with the food on our plate. It's the same thing. You know, people were starving in China at the time.
I know, but nobody said our parents. And you were right about the China thing. You're right about that. But our parents didn't say nobody likes a skinny Tom and Jay.
No, that's right. They do say that, don't they?
Whoever heard of a skinny Santa? Eat, eat.
Okay, get ready to be creeped out again by the North Pole's real estate agent, Sam Burlives, the snowman. Really? Really? When one isolates that, doesn't seem right, does it? Should we be hearing this?
Well, in our context, definitely not.
Jesus. All right, go.
I love this Christmassy time of year.
We get it. We get it. You love that area. You love Christmas Town. You love this time of year. You know?
Nice around here, isn't it?
Jesus. Come on. Why is this even... This does not move the plot along. All this is him warmly caressing his own soul or something.
We are only 7.5 seconds into the show now, so
yes.
we're going to need a part 2 of this.
Yes, and he's worked himself into a lather already. Oh. So then we go into Rudolph's house. Rudolph's father is... Remember whose father is?
Rudolph. It's Donner, isn't it?
Donner, right.
That's right.
As my wife would say Donder.
Donner.
Donner. And so here we go. Here comes the birth of Rudolph, who's ostensibly the star of this show, although Sam has monopolized almost all of it.
We'll call him Rudolph.
Rudolph is a lovely name. Rudolph.
Hey, he knows his name already.
Uh-oh.
Mama. He's got a shiny nose.
Shiny? I'd even say it glowed.
Well, we'll simply have to overlook it.
Jesus! What a way to greet the kid.
Well, he's different, so he should be...
He is. But what is that noise, too? I'm trying to think, what is that noise that his nose is making?
I assume that his nose is clogged up and makes a little whistling sound.
It does make it's obviously a whistling sound, but it's something. We know what that thing is. That's somewhere.
Can you overlook that? His beak blinks like a blinking beacon.
Already with the abuse. Already, it's about them. It's about Mr. and Miss. It's about Donner and Mrs. Donner, as we'll find out later. She doesn't get her own identity.
That's right.
So, but really, right out of the
they
sex,
beat him down immediately.
They do, and she's supposed to be at least a maternal figure. You'd assume. I mean, we weren't good-looking babies, probably, and like dads are usually silent about it.
Exactly.
But mothers. Oh, that didn't really work, did it? Anyway, let me.
We'll call him Rudolph.
Rudolph is a lovely name. Rudolph.
Hey, he knows his name already.
Papa, Mama.
So he's speaking, Rudolph, so he can comprehend English. So he knows what they're saying when they bring the hammer down on him.
He's got a shiny nose.
Shiny? I'd even say it glowed.
Well, we'll simply have to overlook it.
How can you overlook that? His beak blinks like a blinking beacon.
What a jerk. And he already came up with alliteration to slam the kid. Maybe it's
brutal.
It is brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, what a jerk family. Already his parents are jerks. So does it sound like a teacup? No, a tea...
Oh,
coffee?
sure. A pot of coffee percolating or already done or whatever, yeah.
It sounds like something, Jay. We will find out what it sounds like. So the big guy comes to meet the new kid.
Well, Donner, where's the new member of the family? After all, if he's going to be on my team someday, he'd better get to know me. Well, hi there. Aren't you the sturdy little fellow?
Santa.
Santa likes what he sees so far. This is all looking good so far.
Did they put the cover on it yet, or
No.
it just didn't go off in front of him?
No, it hasn't gone off.
All right, okay.
Although to us watching, it seems like his nose is a small red incandescent light bulb. If you're there in the cave, then apparently it doesn't. Everything looks normal.
And smart, too. Great bouncing iceberg. Now, I'm sure it'll stop as soon as he grows up, Santa. Well, let's hope so if he wants to make the sleigh team someday.
What a jerk. By the way, I have a new...
Well, he's different, so,
Yeah, I know, but...
He needs to go.
Santa starts with, he wants to see the newest member of the family. And then he ends with the sleigh team. So already it's about, with Santa, it's about these psychological tribes that it's up to Rudolph to deserve to be in. And he also puts Donner in there, too.
Yeah.
Saying if you want to be the parent of somebody who's on this, you need to do it. By the way, I'm starting to think that sound is kind of like the squelch on a walkie-talkie. Remember walkie-talkies?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
If you held like two of them in the squelch.
Oh, yes, together. Yes.
Yeah.
Feedback, I guess.
Let's go to our next piece of evidence here.
We'll hide Rudolph's nose.
Hide it?
Yeah. Come.
With an earshot of Rudolph, of course, all this is said. There's no Rudolph go play in the meadow. There's nothing. This kid is born. It's like an Olympic athlete in training. He is born to be a champion, and if not, who knows what's going to happen.
He's going to start drinking very soon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Here, boy. You'll be a normal little buck just like everybody else, right? A chip off the old antlers. Now, you'll get...
Now he's doing ableist things to him. Now he's pushing the charcoal, or whatever that is.
Oh, yeah. So he put, what does he put on there?
I don't know. He put some kind of clay
or whatever.
Or charcoal to hide his defect.
Get used to it. Put it there, son. Oh, gee.
Oh, now he sounds like an idiot.
Yeah. It also sounds like... It also sounds like what it would sound like if your ear got clapped by somebody.
Oh, that's
you know that ring?
That's right.
Which I'm sure happened. Okay, who's next? Hermie is next. Hermie, the elf. We should be very delicate with Hermie.
Sure.
There are certain assumptions that we probably have about young Hermie.
Indeed.
That maybe he's not the construction type. Maybe he's more of an artiste. More of a creative fellow. And so we'll use kid gloves here.
Seems elves have that certain knack for toy making. All except for this one misfit.
There we go. Drunken Burl Lives, it sounds like already, by the way, has no time for a proper intro for Hermie. Hermie gets the nomenclature immediately. This little misfit has no skills.
Herbie!
Is it Hermie or Herbie?
I thought he said Herbie, but it is Hermie.
Okay, it is. Okay, Herbie's boss is a monster of a person. He's got an explosive temper.
I don't remember his name. Do you?
I don't remember his name, no. But I was always bothered by him forever.
Yeah.
He's got an explosive temper. He's got a constantly bad disposition. He's way loud. He only yells. He doesn't do anything but yell. And he's essentially a slave driver to the elves. And all for things like the singing Christmas song.
Aren't you finished painting that yet? There's a pile up a mile wide behind you. What's eating you, boy?
Not happy in my work, I guess.
What?
I just don't like to make toys.
No, well, if
you're his boss and he says, I just don't like to make toys, and you work in a toy industry like he does, I would say, with that tone that Hermie just used, I would take the kid's word for it.
Yeah, maybe transfer him somewhere or something. I don't know.
Yeah, somebody's got to paint the toys. Somebody could design the toys.
Yeah, and indeed, I think that he went into the wrong profession, and they should identify that and offer him maybe a transfer or some sort of severance package. That doesn't happen in the show.
No, it doesn't. He has no shot. Come on.
That's all. What? You don't like to make toys?
No.
Hermie?
It was what gave that away, by the way, dysfunctional jerk boss? Is it the pile of toys piling up behind him? Kid doesn't have it. Some kids don't have it. Some people are second basemen. Some people are bat boys. Leave it alone. I mean, haven't you just not had a skill?
Yes.
Something where everybody else has the skill?
Yes, and it's obvious right now.
Yeah, other than this. Have you previously?
No, indeed. It's something that can be very embarrassing, and to be called out in front of everybody and yelled at.
Doesn't help.
Pretty, no.
So what he's going to do is shoot the kid's nerves.
Yeah. No. You know, this is still just a cartoon, right?
No, it's not. There are things happening here. There are bad things happening. This is not about a deer.
Doesn't like to make toys.
Herbie doesn't like to make toys. Herbie doesn't like to make toys.
This is great. Sick the mob on Hermie, who's obviously not comfortable in his skin right now.
That was a method they used then. It worked.
Maybe it did work. Maybe that's the thing.
You know, it forced him to make up his mind. He said, well, if I'm not going to make toys, I better do what I want to do. So he took off.
You're right. He's got choices now. You're right. He has choices. He could either reapply himself and really try to do what everybody else is doing. He could hang himself, which I'm sure the boss would be just fine with, or he could just get out of there and not be a problem for anybody and see what happens in the open like world and the rest of the North Pole. Which you're right, which is essentially what happens. But his boss isn't done because he's a jerk.
Hermie doesn't like to make toys.
Shame on you.
Do you mind?
Shame on you?
Jeez.
How is this a matter of shame or not?
My gosh. You know, this is probably indicative of what was going on to some extent during that time. I mean, there was a lot of bullying and things like that going on, and a lot of it was not accepted, but it was considered the norm, or you know, at that time. I think
it's you're right. I think it's more than accepted. This is being celebrated right now. This is how they do it.
So 1964. So I remember in the early 70s where a teacher would hit your knuckles with the ruler in front of the kids. So that's just essentially the same thing, you know. I mean,
well, that was a special school.
Yes, it was a special school.
Yeah, that was civilians didn't have to worry about that, Jay. That was your school.
Telling me what you do want to do?
Now he's affecting an accent of a more flowery accent, the boss is now, to mock Hermie. There's not a piece of Hermie he's going to let leave there intact.
Yeah.
He uses the entire mob rule to intimidate him, to castigate him, to let him know what a failure he is, and now he just mocks his accent. Because Hermie, he doesn't look like the other elves. He's got a bit of a cowlick, among other things.
Yeah. No, I think that the boss would take a Franklin Covey course or something like that at the time. I think he would do very well with that.
Or like any course on just civility.
Yeah.
Just like, why would you do that? Imagine that's your first day in a job anywhere. Anywhere, if your job is like at the Apple store and like you just can't seem to move the like iPad, Elite Pad, whatever they are, the iPads or whatever, and have somebody, oh, look who doesn't like to move the iPads.
I would curse him out. You know, if that was me.
If
I was in the receiving end.
If you were Hermie?
Oh,
or
indeed.
if you were the boss?
No, if I was on the receiving end of that.
Imagine now with like millennials, you don't give them the Hermie treatment. There's a lot of Hermies in the workforce right now.
Sir, someday I'd like to be a dentist.
A dentist?
Well,
This doesn't help his cause to be liked, does it?
No, well, not a dentist, no. Could have said an architect or something.
Yeah, something that can be applied up in the North Pole. Something.
I think Superman at the time was looking for someone to build the Fortress of Solitude.
Was that which one was that where he lost the power?
That was Superman 2.
What a mistake that was.
So it is not the only castle on the North Pole. There is another.
It's not?
Well, there's a Fortress of Solitude. They're neighbors. Superman and Santa Claus are neighbors up there.
With the crystal.
We'll forget about that.
You imagine what Superman would not have smiled upon Hermie, I don't think.
I think that he wakes up every morning just cursing them when he's in his robe, looking over, hearing all the noise coming out of the toy factory.
Although maybe he leveled it. Although Clark Kent was a misfit himself, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he was indeed, yes.
Maybe all of us have a misfit in us. All right, we got a lot of work to do here.
you need one up here. I've been studying. It's fascinating. You've no idea. Molars and bicuspids and incisors.
Now listen.
Studying. That just shows you where his priority is. Studying instead of doing the work that you're getting compensated for, Hermie. You're here on a mission. It's a year-long thing. It's a magical event that happens once a year. It's Christmas. This show tells me it's all that Christmas is about. So maybe he could refocus and tweak his emphasis.
Well, he's doing what people do today. Maybe not solitaire anymore, but everybody's on their Facebook and social media, online, things like that, and he's just studying about being a dentist. Same thing.
Well, that's fine. But if you're on the assembly line, and the most important assembly line on the earth at that point,
you can't be studying and making wooden trucks.
No.
You're an elf, and elves make toys. Now get to work. 10 minutes break.
For everybody?
Not for you. Finish job or you're fired.
I hated that boss so much. I still do.
Yeah.
Hate that
Does it
part.
remind you of anybody, or?
Well, maybe it does, actually. Maybe this is something more for my psychologist. But it does.
All right, son, try it on.
I don't wanna. Daddy, I don't like it.
You'll like it and wear it.
Oh, but Daddy, it's not very comfortable.
There are more important things than comfort. Self-respect.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but that does actually seem familiar, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
That sounds like I don't know.
Yeah.
One of my father figures.
Yeah, same here. Same here. When I was afraid of the ball and when I was 5 years old playing
sure.
baseball or something
Yeah.
like that. But I mean, he said there are more important things than comfort, but isn't breathing one of those things that would be? Because doesn't he breathe out of his nose?
It's restricted now. It sounds like he can
Yeah.
hardly breathe, and his voice is even worse than probably
you're saying
the
it's
red
not
nose
for-
to begin with.
So maybe he was being thoughtful, saying that your apparatus is already compromised, so I'm just going to retrofit with something that at least aesthetically will help you in your journey.
Let's keep him all shut, though.
Santa can't object to you now.
Jesus. Man, talk about needing to impress a boss. Vicious time. All right, Hermes' boss makes another appearance.
You'll never fit in.
Thanks for that. What a jerk.
So far, I find nothing wrong with this. No.
This is so far it's all cruelty. It's all cruelty. There's one questionably intentioned host in Burl Ives, Sam the Snowman, and other than that, it's just a.
Well done.
Hold on, where am I here again? Oh God, I wanted to hear that. Nobody.
Thanks very much.
That noise shouldn't be around kids.
Unless you're drinking a 7-Up.
You'll never fit in.
We get it. We get it, Hermes boss. All right. So now it seems like things are going to go well here for a moment.
It's about to try out for the team. Is that right?
Try out for the team. We see a part of Rudolph that we hadn't seen before when he's allowed to get out there and do his own thing.
My name's Clarice. Hi.
My name's Rudolph. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Clarice. Hey, after practice, would you?
Rudolph, you get back here. It's your turn, you know.
Gee, I gotta go back. Would you walk home with me?
Whoa. Would you walk home with me? He gets yelled at by, which one was that? Blitzen or whatever, whoever the guy with the whistle is, gets yelled at.
Blitzen, I think, is the coach, yeah.
But Rudolph has so much game that he finishes the question. And, even through that, he puts that off and finishes the question. The kid
Takes a lot of guts.
Yeah, he's got away with...
Maybe he'll be all right.
Uh-huh. Rudolph,
He got the yes, got the green light.
I think you're cute.
I'm cute.
Magnificent.
I'm cute. She said I'm cute.
Not bad at all.
Hey, you're okay.
She said I'm cute. Ha!
The Hey You're Okay was Fireball, by the way, who's...
Well, I like him.
Yeah, he made a brief appearance in this whole franchise, and actually he may have made an appearance in one of the later ones, like maybe New Year's as well, but Fireball was what the guy he could have been. It was like Jan Michael Vincent. The guy could have been the next big thing.
Come on.
For crying out loud.
Fireball, what's the matter?
Fireball wants no part of this anymore. Fireball is out in his switch teams, and the gloves come off now with the mob.
Get away from me.
Now. What's this nonsense here, Bucks? After all,
Really? I mean, that guy, you would think, has seen some things in his life, and he's that put off by a kid with an incandescent bulb for a nose. There was nothing ugly about his nose, was
No, it was just, I think it's making a point at the time that it was just different, and that was sort of, that was what was going on at the time, and people that were different or challenged in any way. It's tough for
Jay, this thing was made for 6-year-old kids.
I know.
I don't know. I mean, how if the Civil Rights Act has much to do with this. Although it did pass that year.
Hey, look at the beach.
Hey, buy us new.
Fireball, boss.
Wait, fire snout? Is that what that is?
I didn't catch
Some
that.
of the disses may not have been first rate.
Stop calling me names!
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer!
Donner, you should be ashamed of yourself. What a pity.
Ashamed of yourself. Jesus.
As a parent.
Yeah, how do you think Rudolph's going to get... I mean, what kind of nights Rudolph going to have at home now that Donner's been told to be ashamed of himself once Donner gets into the brandy?
Yeah. That's a tough one to recover from. And I guess that's why he takes off.
He had a nice takeoff, too.
All right now, yearlings, back to practice. Oh, no, not you. You better go home with your folks. From now on, gang, we won't let Rudolph join in any reindeer games, right?
That's the worst thing you can do to a reindeer, from what I've seen so far.
It's the only thing that could be worse is getting picked last. Actually, no, that's not. That's even worse. Yeah.
He doesn't even get to the area where you get picked.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So he's completely kicked off the team and taken out of he can't play with his friends anymore. And that's got to be rough for a young buck, as it were.
Now, here's Clarice's father. Let's see if he's got room for Rudolph. But I get the feeling it'll work out
No
well.
doe of mine is going to be seen with a red-nosed reindeer.
Jesus.
You know they get married. They end up getting married.
Are you sure?
I did a little bit of research on it, but Rudolph did marry Clarice, and they had a child together as
What?
well. Yeah, I'm serious.
What is all this crap?
I'm serious.
Hold
The
on.
name is Robbie, and he had his own special later.
He did?
Yeah, he did, called Robbie the
Hold
Reindeer.
on. Stay right there.
All
Stay
right,
there.
all right.
Don't get ahead of ourselves.
You wouldn't mind my...
So Rudolph meets Hermie, and they form an alliance.
You wouldn't mind my red nose?
Not if you don't mind me being a dentist.
Okay.
What's wrong with being a dentist, first off? Well, I guess an elf is a dentist.
He's
but...
also not a dentist.
No.
He's an odd, peculiar elf who likes dentistry and bowlers and everything like that, but he's not a dentist. By the way, doesn't he sound like the guy on Channel 2 who travels everywhere? Steve something?
I don't recall that, no.
We're going to see the Roman Colosseum.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, so have we done this?
Steve
Smith, is it?
It'll come to me, but yeah.
Okay.
The name's Yukon.
Okay, they meet Yukon Cornelius. Here we go.
The name's Yukon Cornelius, the greatest prospector in the North. This is my land, and you know, it's rich with gold. Gold!
Okay.
Has to be my favorite character.
Is he really?
I like him.
Is there any doubt? What can we assume already about Yukon Cornelius?
I assume that he got kicked out of his house in Chicago and took a train up north and decided to make it on his own. He always wanted to have a couple of dogs and a sleigh and be his own man, you know?
Would you say he takes a drink?
I would say that during the whole show, in fact, I think they caught him in his trailer several times, passed out when it was time for his his acting. He was just missing.
That is correct. When he was throwing the axe up and licking the axe, that was some kind of powerful metaphor.
Mister, where are we going?
You're going to stay with me.
Yeah, Rudolph's danger sense is kicking in right there. And it's, this is another odd...
Stranger danger.
Yeah, this is... you're going to stay with me. Okay, Weinstein.
Mister, where are we going?
You're going to stay with me.
Okay. So they make their way to the Island of Misfit Toys. Which just sucks. That whole Misfit Toy Island is terrible. With the whole song, it's like...
Here on the island of
Sadness. It's like church.
It's worse. It's a funeral. It's a requiem. It's only being whipped.
We want to travel with Santa Claus.
Sorry. So they go to the Island of Misfit Toys, and they meet all the folks there. We'll get to exactly who they meet in a moment. But first, Donner, this is maybe the most important thing we can take away. And you had mentioned earlier, Jay, that there's some misogyny that happens.
Yeah.
I would say this shows about 6.5 dozen bad traits. This is at Rudolph's father's house.
Now, you can bet old Donner felt pretty bad about the way he had treated Rudolph.
Bet that.
And he knew that the only thing to do was to go out and look for his little buck. Mrs. Donner wanted to go along, naturally, but Donner said, "No, this is man's work."
Oh.
And no sooner did the man of the house leave when Mrs. Donner and Clarice decided to set out on their own.
So,
oh boy, I tell you, that says it all, doesn't it?
if you watch this movie, Mr. Man's work ends up nowhere near the Abominable Snowman. He is not in the picture when they converge upon him. There's somebody else who isn't as well. The guy who decides whether or not Christmas is canceled also is nowhere near the search and rescue party. He has no time for that. Island of Misfit Toys. This is why they're misfit toys, and probably this engendered anger in most people watching this for decades.
Yes, my name is...
Don't tell me. Jack.
No, Charlie. That's why I'm a misfit toy. My name is all wrong. No child wants to play with a Charlie in the box, so I had to come here.
Oh boy.
Are we sure that no child wants to play with all Charlies in the box?
No, I mean...
Is it one in particular? Is it maybe the way Charlie speaks?
I think that whole island is a facility. It's just a for outcasts and you know,
it is a facility. There's no doubt about that. But don't you think there's something with? Can you go around speaking like that? Well, Charlie in the box. People don't like to be around people who talk like that, do they?
I mean, it's entertaining. I think
he's already like a self-hating. Seems extremely morose guy.
Yes, my name is...
Don't tell me. Jack.
No, Charlie. That's why I'm a misfit toy.
No, he's a misfit toy because his attitude is piss poor.
Oh, he's always on the verge of crying or breaking down.
Yeah, who wants that? That's his problem.
Move on.
This island is for toys alone.
How do you like that? Even among misfits, you're misfits.
Friendly fire there from the Yukon Lush.
Who was that? Was that the king of the king lion, or
that was the king who's a lion? I don't know if he's a misfit too, and he seems capable of flying. I don't know why he can't drop off misfit toys to houses.
Yeah, it looks like something from
Narnia.
Yes,
it does. Yeah, we'll listen to him again, and we'll listen to the surprise Pearl Harbor hit that Rudolph and Hermie take from their own guy, Yukon.
This island is for toys alone.
How do you like that? Even among misfits, you're misfits.
Really? Aren't they out in the... Do you think they're already not, like, dispirited enough? They really need this crap from him?
Why did they go there anyway?
I don't know why they went there. I mean, because Yukon Cornelius is weird, and he's in charge, and they were afraid of him.
Mister, where are we going?
You're going to stay with me.
And they slept
again.
Well, who knows? But Rudolph snuck out, and then returned home. Does he get a hero's welcome?
You? I thought you were gone for good. Hey, look who's back. Oh, Neon knows.
The kid's been gone, a runaway child, for like 4 years. Imagine any kid inside of a milk carton. You'd think that you'd be elated, maybe, that he's home safely. But no.
And you had a chance to think about what you've done before he left. Yeah.
No. They hate him now more than they hated him the moment when he left. This is a bad bunch of deer in this place. And they're all set, and they're all ready and in sync to give him hell again in a synchronized way to razz him.
Mom? Pa? I'm home.
They're gone, Rudolph. They've been gone for months, out looking for you.
Clarice?
She's gone too, and
Well,
so they all left, and
Yes.
they still razzed him when they got back, even though they knew that everybody's looking for
Everybody's
Rudolph.
gone. Clarice, they have a problem with Clarice?
I'm very worried. Christmas Eve is only 2 days off, and without your father, I'll never be able to get my sleigh off the ground.
Don't worry about their safety.
Yeah.
I'll find him, sir.
What?
I'll find them all.
Don't feel any pressure to move your fat ass, by the way, to join in the search and rescue for any one of these. They're gone. You don't get to say they're gone. Go. You've got the rest of the reindeer in the sleigh. You've got the ability to rescue them alive. What a useless piece of crap Santa is in this.
Well, he has to be there for to get fatter, and he has to make sure all the toys get built because Christmas is in 3 days. I mean,
don't you're being his attorney here, but he's just a total wretched jerk.
You! I thought you were gone for good. Hey, look who's back. Old Neon knows. Mom? Pa? I'm home.
They're gone, Rudolph. They've been gone for months, out looking for you.
Clarice?
She's gone too, and I'm very worried.
Oh, yeah, you're right about that's a good point.
Out looking for you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, just in case you thought that your self-esteem should be intact at all, it's all on you, just so you know, because you had to be a bitch and leave. So now they're all out there. They're probably dead, so you know.
Better get back soon. Somebody's got to find them. I'm not going to do shit.
Christmas Eve is only 2 days off, and without your father, I'll never be able to get my sleigh off the ground.
Gone. I'll find him, sir. I'll find them all.
This is not Santa's finest hour. There's no doubt about that. All right, where are we now? Okay, this is a subtle scene. This has to do with your friend Sam again. This just speaks to me.
Ever since Rudolph left them, Hermie and Yukon Cornelius had been trying to find their friend. Well, they arrived in Christmas Town just as the storm hit. And it was a good thing that I sent them right out after Rudolph.
Well, thank Christ for you, Sam. Thank God you were around there. I mean, did we need to know who sent who where?
He wants the credit for it.
Yeah, talk about virtue signaling. My goodness. It was a good thing I was here doing my thing. That's all you do is stay around where the Christmas seals are and say stupid jokes and act as if you're like the harbinger of all the things the cool things that get to happen up there.
Nice around here, isn't it?
Yeah, we get it.
Well, he does hang around in front of the castle or wherever it is. So I mean, he knows everything.
Is it the last one on the right?
It's the only one.
Yeah, that's what he tells me. All right, where am I here? It's his virtual signaling. The abominable snowman.
It's a tough word.
Yeah, it is. The Bumble.
Bumbles. That's right.
Rudolph sees the Bumble. The Donner is nowhere to be found. He's no longer in the picture. He is somewhere else. He's like at the Elks, right?
Whoa!
But so Clarice is there with Mrs. Donner, and this scene now, the Bumble is about to eat Rudolph. He's got him in his hand, and he's got him near his fangs.
Oh, why doesn't he get it over with? Mom! Clarice!
So just not to split hairs, but Rudolph is obviously conscious, right?
Yes.
Okay, does he need to hear this?
Oh, why doesn't he get it over with?
Does he need to hear that? Does Rudolph want the guy to get it over with?
No.
No. He wants to be the Bumble to not get it over with. There's still hope. If somebody does something, this is like the North Pole is a place where nobody does anything to help anybody at all. But
there's not a lot of people to help.
But Kvetch, like Yukon Cornelius, is the drunken maniac. It will ostensibly help, but that's it. Why doesn't he get it over with? F you, get it over with. I'm hanging here. I have a chance to live. I'm a young reindeer. I have something to prove.
They are all very sad at the loss of their friend, but they realize that...
This is after Yukon went over. He fell to his death.
That's right.
They are...
Go ahead.
No, that's right. That's so who scared him off the edge? Yukon came out. They dropped the boulder on his head. He fell down. They pushed him over the edge. They walked him over, and Yukon went over with him, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. So it's been a little while since I've seen it. I tried to, but this was a sad time.
Well, and the dogs went over with Yukon.
That's correct. It's very sad.
If you were a kid in 1964 and the power went out at this point, you could possibly try to harm yourself. This guy is a powerhouse. One of the few really assertive people on the North Pole, and a guy who may have saved Christmas.
They are all very sad at the loss of their friend, but they realize that the best thing to do is to get the women back to Christmas Town.
The helpless women back to Christmas Town. They have to get the women back to Christmas Town because Donner's already back in Christmas Town.
The feminists love that.
He barely... I don't blame them for this. Donner barely left Christmas Town to begin with. And Santa certainly didn't leave Christmas Town. He wasn't going out looking for a reindeer. fine with the herd being culled by this maniac monster.
It'll shake out the way it shakes out, as far as he's concerned.
Yeah, and he's he's got a training program for young reindeers. How come if Donner doesn't make it back, I won't get my sled off the ground? Well, there's new recruits every year. They haze each other like no animal has ever hazed any other individual on Earth. All right, where are we here? Misfits.
So they make it back, and when everybody hears their story, they start to realize maybe they were a little hard on the misfits. Maybe misfits have a place too.
Jeez, don't do me no favors.
Wow.
But we're going to possibly put a halt to the genocide briefly because your story inspires.
Eat, Papa, eat.
Here she is.
How can I eat? That silly elf song is driving me crazy.
You're going to disappoint the children. They expect a fat Santa.
Everybody manipulates in this thing. You're going to disappoint the children. We're not going to impress Santa enough.
The reindeer.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody is out for themselves.
You're right.
Yeah.
This is
even the elves are for themselves.
The elf.
Sorry.
Hang on.
We'll have to cancel Christmas.
There he goes again.
Yeah,
I mean, what is this?
Threatening everybody.
Yeah.
He's saying, get things done. I don't want to lift a finger, but get things done so make it happen.
I mean, at that time, in 1964, there was probably 5 billion people on Earth. Maybe 2 billion maybe were Christians, somewhere around the ballpark. They don't get any notification that he's going to cancel. The whole thing he's going to cancel. It's not just the toy transaction part of today can't happen. The whole celebration of the Christ, all that is totally off because he didn't prepare enough to get his sleigh off the ground.
An eventuality of a storm.
Right, which you would think might happen in winters, especially on the North Pole.
I would think so.
We'll have to cancel Christmas.
Papa, are you sure?
Everything's grounded. Oh, the poor kids. They've been so good this year, too. But I couldn't chance it. I'll have to tell...
Couldn't chance what? Isn't he
magical?
Yeah. Doesn't he have the ability to make stuff happen?
He does a lot of other things. He's able to shrink
we'll
himself.
Have to cancel.
Yeah, he's able to shrink himself. He's able to castigate Donner and other reindeers.
Yeah, he can shoot up a chimney by touching the side of his nose. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Why can't he do stuff with his sleigh or provide a light? Why does he need a small, tiny little red light?
Yeah, you're right.
It must have many candle power in that light. I don't know what it is.
And by the way, Jay, that's a great point. Let's talk about the light. It is a small red incandescent light bulb, I believe is what we say. You're right. Why
like
can't
a C9?
Yeah. Why can't there be a headlight on the damn sleigh?
Or just fog lights? I don't know. They had them then.
Yeah. The show starts out with footage from a snowstorm in the 60s with cars in snowbanks.
That's right.
So they should have Klieg lights at that point. But he doesn't have the
wonderful nose.
Huh?
Rudolph, Christmas is not off, and you're going to lead my team.
I am?
Yes, sir. You and that wonderful nose of yours.
My nose, sir?
Oh, from what I see now, that'll cut through the murkiest storm they can dish up. What I'm trying to say is, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
You know what's happening?
It will be...
I know they're stealing the song. Who's the song? Gene Autry's song,
Oh,
right?
is that right? No, I don't know. You know that he's thinking to himself, yeah, thanks for abusing me verbally and all that throughout these years. And, I'll accept your task of getting the sleigh through tonight, but I'll get you back. And that's the movie I want to see, this sort of the sequel to this thing where he gets his revenge.
I think that's awesome. That's a great idea. I mean, why not? Who think of all the people who wronged him in this?
Exactly. It would be violent and bloody, but it would be something I'd like to see.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And how dare you? Like, no, where's the huge apology from Santa? I mean, with the way we treated you people, or reindeer, and never thought to even find you. It was fine with me if you just died. The abominable snowman is out there. He can eat like 30 of you guys, and I'm fine.
Venison burgers. No, Santa has a history of being a jerk. He lets his reindeer defecate on Superman's lawn, and he has a ton of broken down, unregistered sleighs in his driveway. I mean, he's not a good neighbor. You know, I mean, he's they don't show that on it's sort of the back of the camera stuff, but he is kind of a jerk.
I think we get that. I think you can see and you can hear that this is not a very Christmassy group of people, and that it's not a Christmassy bunch of. Well, no. So in other words, the holiday spirit is not there. This is a sweatshop.
The last 10 seconds, the holiday spirit is there in the show.
How so?
Well, he allows him to be part of the team. He gets to, bumbles, puts there's all happiness involved. And it's only for the last few seconds.
Well, that's because it's about him, though. Because
exactly, everything's back. Everyone's back, and he wants to make sure his agenda gets done, and so he's happy.
So that is our dissection of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, our deconstruction, if you will. I think it was it's a dark movie. I think that looking back on it, you can glean a lot of both the frailties and really immoral, dark traits of a lot of the folks in it. And I like the idea of a sequel. I wish there was a sequel that where he could redeem himself and exact revenge on those who wronged him. Because he himself, Rudolph, is not a bad guy. He's a fairly nice guy. Yeah. He didn't bring this on himself.
That's correct, yeah. You should write a screenplay.
Well, we should write a screenplay.
Yeah.
Imagine the newest scene. I can do two of the voices. I can do Hermie, and I can do the other guy. All right, what is the housekeeping we have, Jay?
Let's see. Well, we wanted to talk a little bit about, Lean in 18. I know that you put out a post today asking why I'm not getting up early in the morning to run. I'm doing my running. Don't you worry about it. I think... So what are we going to do? We're gonna see who loses the most weight percentage-wise by a certain date. I think we thought February, the end of February.
What? No. I'm not agreeing to these terms.
Why not?
I think we start now, certainly.
Absolutely.
The holidays are coming. And those are days for, I don't
imbibing
drink, but I think you probably do.
I disagree with that.
And then that would mean, all sorts of eating, all sorts of other stuff. So I can't...
well, that's why we're going to do it for February.
Oh, okay.
Well,
yeah, we can track on. I'll weigh myself tomorrow, and you can weigh yourself tomorrow.
Yeah,
we'll throw it on Instagram. Yeah. It's I Shoulda Did, I think, on Instagram.
Correct.
And on Facebook, we'll populate all the stuff. It's I Shoulda Did More Reading. Sorry, I Shoulda Did More Reading on Twitter. I Shoulda Did as well, and we're on SoundCloud and all that other stuff. And you can get the podcast on iTunes. But if you go to Facebook and type in I Shoulda Did More Reading, I think you'll find all their stuff there. Oh, or you can go to IShouldaDidMoreReading.com.
Correct.
IShouldaDidMoreReading.com, and you can get everything there. And you can meet our manager. We're going to introduce our manager to you.
Billy.
Yep.
I will put a picture up for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was in the studio today. In fact, that's what we were working on some things today while you were running. So,
It was cold out this morning,
man. Great guy.
It was cold out.
I can imagine.
It was Christmas Town cold. Christmas Seals cold there.
What time do you get up?
I got up at 4:56.
Yeah, that's awful. I'm not going to do that.
Why not, man? There's nobody else around at that time. Funny thing is that there are two other people who use that track, and I can never even see them.
So, is that right? That's going to be weird.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the I Shoulda Did More Reading podcast, and we'll talk to you in a couple days. Enjoy the holidays. Have fun, everybody. See you.